Hey everyone, Tap Dog here with Little Alchemist Helper, and today I am finally getting back to the ways to improve Little Alchemist the game. And long story short, the reason why it's taking me so long is because you guys left hundreds and hundreds of comments of ideas and suggestions and improvements in Discord, and it was just too much for me to go through. Thankfully, Jark, one of the guys that's been leaving a lot of comments on here, and he's also a moderator on our Discord, he was nice enough to kind of condense everything down into a very, very long document for me. So I kind of read through it all, and at the very end, he was kind enough to sort these by the type of requests that they are. And so I'm going to break this down into a couple different videos and focus just on the suggestions that came in into those different areas. And then from there, I'll just have, I think, probably 3, 4, 5 videos because of how many great suggestions you guys had. Now, for the most part, these are all new ideas that have popped up. Some of them are small, some of them are a little bit more specific, but in today's post, you're going to be hearing quality of life changes. So things that might be a little bit small, but would be significantly improving the game overall by making these tweaks and changes. So I'll just kind of go through all of these suggestions that you guys had. I'm not going to be able to credit the original writers of each of these, so I apologize, but I'm just going to put on here what the request is and then kind of walk through it and give my thoughts on it. So with that being said, there's only just over 10 of these, so there's not going to be that long of a video. But the first one is when you level up, allow energy to go past the max of 30. So instead of just filling you to 30, reward 30 energy above whatever your current energy is. So I know I've talked about this before where I think it'd be nice if when you leveled up, rather than, let's say you just played one game and it was only 5 energy, so you have 25 energy and you dinged your level, so you refill, you've just wasted 25 energy in that situation. Wouldn't it be better if you either got a energy refill capsule that you could use when you level up, or like this person's suggestion, just have you, in the case I said of 25, you would get an additional 30 on top of that, so you'd have 55 energy. So I think any of these types of options would be great. The idea being just don't waste the energy, because energy is a scarce resource in this game and it takes a long time to refill. So if you would be able to keep that energy and not waste it by leveling up, that would be awesome. So yeah, great suggestion. Next suggestion, pretty simple. It was just someone requested that we have a 4th and a 5th deck slot to choose from. Currently in game, you only have 3 slots, and that does make it a little bit difficult to manage. I've already shared with you guys before that I use one of the slots for my arena deck, one of the slots for my heroics, and then the third one is for any cards that I'm trying to level up that aren't in my arena or heroics deck. It makes it easier to be able to recycle. But it would be nice to have a 4th and 5th deck. For me personally, that would let me try out other decks, you know, for arena. I've been wanting to try maybe, my Tap Dog account uses Master Healer deck, and so it'd be nice to try a Tiebreaker deck and see if that works better for me or more consistently, or even to try a Lobotomizer deck, you know. So being able to have that flexibility to have a 4th or 5th deck slot would be really great, and I don't think it would be too hard for them to code that into the game. So that'd be a nice little quality of life change, so thank you. Number 3, once a day, watch a video to get full energy. So this is an idea where instead of just watching the ad, you get the 1 dust per day. There might be an option for you to watch an ad and then you get your energy restored, and that would be once per day. I'd actually go so far as to say the other game that I play, I've told you guys about before, is Emoji Blitz, and that's a Disney property. And so what they do is you're able to refill your energy, I think, once every 12 hours by watching an ad. So that might be another suggestion too. I don't know if that would be difficult to program because it would be time-based, but even if it was just once a day, you could watch a video for full energy. I think that'd be a great step in the right direction. Let you keep playing a little bit longer rather than run out of energy after a couple of turns. Number 4, fix double opponent matchups. Yeah, I've talked about this error before, and Mr. Anderson did a whole video about that arena glitch where it basically messes up, and so two of the opponents that you have are the same person, so you really only have to choose between two people instead of three people. And that can be extremely frustrating if you happen to, let's say where I'm at, I have Jokovic pop up twice, and then I have one other person. So it's going to be really difficult to beat Jokovic, so I have to choose the other person, and I didn't really have an option for another person. Or in other cases, you might know the decks that are around you, and one of the people you play against, you know you can't beat that person. And if they pop up twice, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to be able to continue winning and continue your win streak. So yeah, I agree. They need to fix the double opponent error that keeps popping up. Fifth comment, unlock speed up from level 1 rather than level 6. So this is, I think, something that would be very nice. Although the only people I think that would really be affected by this are people who are rejoining the game and re-rolling. So what this is referring to is when you first start playing the game, the battle mode is set defaulted to slow. And then there's a normal, and then there's a fast option. And unfortunately, you don't unlock the ability to turn on that fast battle mode until level 6. And that can be extremely frustrating if you are re-rolling. I know I talked about that with Underdog in my beginner guide series, just how slow it is, and I couldn't wait to be able to get to level 6 so I could go faster. I can understand why they might leave that as an option, but I don't see really any reason why they need to cap it off at randomly level 6 is when you can start switching over to the faster speed mode. So I agree, let people be able to unlock that right away. Number 6, watch an ad or two for a gem or the wheel that we talked about before. So yeah, it's just another idea. Rather than having the wheel, maybe instead of dust, it would be you can watch an ad for a gem. I really like the idea of the wheel though, because then you have all these various options on there, and it's kind of not a gamble because you're doing something and you're getting rewarded for it, but you just have the opportunity to get some really great items rather than just a single dust. So yeah, I think I mentioned on there that you could have gems on that wheel, but I don't necessarily like the idea of just watching an ad for a gem, but if that was the choice between what we have now and that, I would definitely have that. But long term, I prefer to have a wheel of some sort. Number 7, I can't believe I didn't think of this myself. Warning when events are about to start. I know we've talked about how many people accidentally start the events because they just continue playing the game. They get to Bridget, they beat her, and they don't realize that by beating her, it's going to open up the whole limited time events. And they're oftentimes not ready, or it's not a good time for them to start because it might be late at night. And, long story short, I highly agree with this, that there should be some type of a warning in there, or even before you go to the next boss after Bridget, it'll say, by continuing to fight this boss, you open up these events, or just having some type of a warning, whether it's before Bridget or if they were to move back the events until you fought the first boss on the 5th area. I don't know what would make more sense there, but I agree. They need to be able to warn you that you're starting something that is a limited time thing, and are you sure you're ready to start these? So that's a great suggestion. Number 8 on my list here, battle again button after bosses or battling the top 100 arena players. So yeah, rather than having to close out of your battle turn and then push the back or the OK button and then go back and battle the person again, if there'd be an option to just say battle again. And if you were out of energy, it would kick you out and say need more energy. Or if you had your energy, it would just automatically battle that person. And that would be for both battling the bosses, so when you're on the island or the, I don't know what the other one's called, the town, the island or the town, you would be able to re-battle rather than having to click out. So just quality of life improvement there. Or if you're for fun battling the top 100 arena players where you can click the fight button next to them to have the option to battle again. So yeah, I like that suggestion. Great idea. Number 9 on my list, increase the character limit for names to something between 12 to 16 characters. I think I had started this conversation on Discord of it'd be nice if you'd actually be able to have the character limit increased. what someone pointed out is that the default name is little space Alchemist, and I think that was 16 characters, so that's where the 16 characters came from, because it's already available and possible in-game to have that long of a name. So why not just increase that character limit for everyone to be that size? I don't know if they would, but it'd still be nicer to have it longer than it is now, and I don't think it would be that big of a problem to do. Number 10, the card drop chances would be displayed. I'm assuming this means for bosses, so it would be nice to know your percentages there, that, you know, for this boss, you have a 25% chance to get a card and a 75% chance to get gold. But on this boss, it's a 50-50 chance, or, you know, whatever it might be. But even more so than that, and I'm guessing this is what the person's requesting, is you'd be able to see your percentage underneath each of those cards. So like for, I don't know, so let's say Chloe, I think she's the first boss, it might say you have a 0.24% chance of getting her boss card, or something crazy like that. And then what would be even better is if you were to toggle on your luck mode, it would show you the increase there. So instead of saying 0.24, it might say, you know, 0.31%, because you've increased your odds by 30%, or whatever that might be. So that would be nice. I agree. It would be nice to be able to know the percentages in-game. I don't think it's necessarily required, and it might get a little bit confusing to people if you went to that detail of the 0.24%. But if you were to say, you know, this boss has a 25% chance to drop a card of any variety and a 75% chance to drop gold, it might make people more inclined to say, oh, I want to go for the gold, or oh, I want to go for the cards, and go for bosses that cater towards that need. Finally, my last quality of life change suggestion from Discord is let us lock cards so they don't get recycled accidentally. And yeah, so even if you do put cards into a deck, I think there are some times where you can recycle them. So it would be nice if it's just, if a card is in a deck, it will not be recycled accidentally. It'll pop up a warning or something and say, one of the cards you are trying to recycle is in a deck. Are you sure you want to recycle it? Or something simple like that. Because I agree, it would be horrible if you were just fast fingering through all of your cards you're recycling and you accidentally recycled an Onyx card or a Diamond Final Form that you didn't put in the deck because it wasn't leveled up. That would be absolutely devastating. Also, to go in addition to that, it would be nice if, I don't think they'd be able to do this, but maybe have an undo button. So if you did mess up, you could undo. So either of those would be a nice option. If it gave a warning, if you're recycling a card that's locked or in a deck, or if they had an undo button. I feel like an undo button might be abused or could be abused, so possibly a warning would be the better way to go. Because once you delete something, it should be deleted rather than having the undo of the deletion. But I think that's going to do it for today. Like I said, it's just a short video. I still have a couple more videos to make on this from Discord. So the other areas that are going to be coming in future videos is going to be a research and shop suggestions, a arena suggestions, heroics and story mode suggestions, and then just kind of a catch-all miscellaneous one that didn't fit into these groups. And then the final one, the most exciting one, I think, is new ideas, so new things to bring to the game. And I wanted to save that one for last because that's kind of a whole different spectacle of itself. But I think that's all the time I have for today, so thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to have a couple more of these videos up and out in the coming weeks here. Hopefully all of them out by maybe the end of March. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you have a good rest of your day.